This is my audience. Good evening, everyone. My name is Brett Mueller, and I want you to listen closely to what I'm about to tell you today. Now, I don't want you to listen just because I needed 3 audience members to listen to my speech in order to pass the class. I also don't want you to listen just because you have to give a peer review on at least 2 other people's speeches. I want you to listen because you want to aid in ending a problem that plagues the Dallas-Fort Worth community. Do you want to play a role in saving innocent lives? Do you want to prevent innocent deaths? If so, then I suggest you listen up, because today, I will inform you of the dangers of distracted driving. Now, you may be asking, what's the big deal with driving and using a mobile device? I do all the time, and I'm still alive. Well, there are several reasons a person should not get on his phone while driving. First, let's look at several statistics that I have gathered, and these statistics come from the Texas Department of Transportation. Distracted driving, which includes being on a cell phone, is a leading cause of death in accidents. If a person travels at just 60 miles per hour and looks at his phone for 5 seconds, which is the average amount of time a person looks at their phone while driving, he travels well over the length of a football field. In 2012 alone, there were 90,378 deaths in Texas alone due to distracted driving. These crashes resulted in 18,468 injuries and 453 deaths. If you still don't think that using a mobile device while driving is a problem, then I want to inform you of the 2 most staggering statistics of all, and these statistics I have gathered from icebike.org. If you text and drive, you are 6 times more likely to be killed than if you were a drunk driver. Over half of the accidents in the United States occurred because of a person using his or her phone while driving. Hopefully now you understand the severity of the situation that America is faced with, and that something must be done about it. It is time to look for a solution. There has already been an enormous amount of effort to reduce accidents by the government. In 10 states, it is illegal to use phones at all while driving. In 32 states, new drivers are not allowed to use their phone at all. And in 40 states, you cannot text and drive at the same time. However, the government can't fix all the problems. The solution ultimately begins with you. Many children grow up in homes where their parents use phones, and as a result, they do that when they get older because they think that is a normal and cool thing to do. And there are measures that you can do to set an example for others so that you will not be tempted to use a phone while driving. One simple solution is to simply put your phone where you cannot reach it. However, due to some of your jobs, I understand that you may not be able to do this. So have somebody else in the car who can answer texts and answer calls. Or if you have nobody else in the car, then you can pull over on the side of the road to answer your important phone calls and texts. It is important to raise awareness because ignorance is the enemy of man. Many people think that they are invincible and that they will never get into an accident. If people truly understood the severity of getting into an accident, then they might act differently. And I want to encourage all of you today to go home and watch red asphalt videos on YouTube. While these videos really don't have to do with using a phone while driving, they really do show some gruesome images of what happens when a person gets into an accident. And I believe that this can serve as a rude awakening to a person for him to see how serious getting into an accident really is. Now, let's envision what would happen if people in the Dallas-Fort Worth area stopped texting and driving. Simply put, many innocent lives would be saved. Dying as a result of being distracted while driving is such a pointless death. Consider the example of high school senior Amanda Clark. One day as she was driving around, she passed a stop sign as a result of being on her cell phone, and her car rolled over several times. However, she was able to walk away from the accident unscathed, but then throughout the course of the next year, she became more confident in her driving, and she, like so many drivers, thought that she was invincible. And so a year to the day, she was using her phone while driving, and she got into another severe accident. However, this accident proved to be fatal. Firemen came to the scene and worked tirelessly to retrieve her body from the wreckage, only to find that she hadn't been breathing for over 20 minutes. And this event really hurt the lives of those around her and really was a huge tragedy in her family. And if you want to look into this story more, you can go to an article online written by Impact Teen Drivers. As you can see, driving while using a phone is extremely dangerous, to say the least. It not only puts your own life at risk, but it puts the lives of those around you at risk. And despite all the efforts made by the government to reduce the number of accidents in America, the solution is ultimately up to you. It is important to raise awareness of the dangers while using a cell phone. If people are aware of the dangers, then the number of accident-related deaths in America will decrease. I ask you again, are you ready to do what it takes to save innocent lives? Are you ready to prevent innocent deaths? Are you ready to lead by example? If so, then I challenge you, citizens of the Dallas-Fort Worth area, to raise awareness of the dangers of using a phone while driving. Thank you for your time.